Hi everyone. So I need to stop predicting what my next episode will be about because I'm always wrong. Um but I because I forgot that I wanted to do an episode about this. But before I start, someone emailed me a few days ago and said there was like 20 seconds of airspace, like blank space where I was supposed to play that video. Well, I guess it didn't make it onto the microphone. I don't know why, and I don't know how to edit. So I really sorry I wasted like 20-ish seconds. 20 seconds of your life. Am I talking? So bad. Recently, just having a hard time. Yeah, so I'm very sorry about that. That's the internet. You can go look up the little jig they do or whatever, but because I don't know how to cut that out. So before I start, I'm just going to read this post I did for Substack last night. This is to serve two purposes. It's not a long post. It just serves like a couple purposes. One, it will save me 10 or more minutes trying to describe this to people who didn't listen to my past episode on this specific issue. Because I know that like a bunch of people like jump around, and I don't blame anybody for being like, oh my God, I am not starting over and listening to this from the very beginning. Like, I don't blame you. So this is for to kind of catch everybody up. And then the second reason is like maybe you will like what I wrote here, maybe, and it will entice you to come on over to my Substack. We have a nice community with all the Substacks. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but like we all chat, we support each other, we read each other's stuff. I guess that's describing it. Whatever. But yeah, it's a good time, and I learn new shit about autism all the time. So like, there's other Substacks that you can subscribe to. And I'm not saying like you have to pay because like you can read people's shit for free. Not everybody like locks their content. I don't lock my content because I don't feel right about doing that. But I do kindly ask for, if you wanted to subscribe financially to me, you could. But if not, I am okay with that. All of my stuff is free. Go for it. Um, okay, so here's a little post. December 14th, 1996. Alanis Morissette was playing a concert just 15 minutes away from our home. I was 13, and like many teens of the 90s, I was obsessed with her music. She was my very first special interest. I'd saved up enough money for 2 tickets because, as a minor, I needed my mom to accompany me, but she said no. Instead of taking me to the concert, she spent the afternoon glued to the computer playing trivia games. I was heartbroken and felt utterly dismissed. That moment has haunted me for years, a bitter reminder of a childhood marked by neglect and unfulfilled dreams. But today, nearly 3 decades later, I experienced a moment of healing and triumph. For my birthday, my incredible wife surprised me with tickets to see Alanis Morissette live. Not only did I finally get to see Alanis perform, but the legendary Joan Jett also graced the stage. The concert was a cathartic experience, a joyous reclamation of a stolen dream. Being in the crowd, singing along to the songs that once provided solace, I felt an overwhelming sense of closure. This wasn't just a concert, it was a symbolic moment of rewriting my past. It was proof that no matter how deep our childhood wounds run, we can find ways to heal and create new positive memories. To all late identified autistic adults and those who grew up with less than ideal parents, know this. It's never too late to reclaim your joy and rewrite your story. Life has a beautiful way of offering second chances, and it's up to us to seize them. Thank you, Alanis, for being the soundtrack of my youth and now the anthem of my healing. How'd you like that? You got to be classy over on Substack. I cannot bring my full personality to that platform because I will drive people away like you wouldn't believe. So, um, so I hope that kind of caught people up. Um, like this wretched fucking memory has popped into my brain every damn day for nearly 30 years. Like, I'm serious. Um, I don't try to think of it. It always just pops in. Like, I don't know, like, I'm really curious, like, what triggers, like, all kinds of memories. I don't know. Like, how do memories just pop into your head? You weren't even thinking about anything related to that. But yeah, every fucking day. And like, even Alicia didn't know. I thought I had told her. She's like, "You held on for that long?" And I'm like, "I didn't hold on to it. It was trapped in my body." Because what I think why I think that is because, like, I had, it was the first time I had a major meltdown because I remember feeling out of control, and that was the first time I had that thought and that feeling. So it in that meltdown did not feel good in my body, like, it was just a very bad I didn't like how that felt. I didn't know what was going on, so that was the first time I had one, and that was also the first time I completely saw my mother for who she was, because there were moments like that throughout the rest of my childhood where I was told no, but the reason made absolutely no sense. This just happened to be the first time it happened. So, but anyways, so I had Alicia like pick the hotel because I was really busy with like doing stuff. And I figured, hey, let's see if she can surprise me with like a good one. And she just picked some hotel above a casino. And I was like, what? I thought she just was like searched for 5 or 10 minutes and then, oh, I'll just pick this one. But she didn't say that she actually did spend time looking, but like a lot of the ones closer to the venue were sold out. So we got 1.5 hour away at the casino. And you know what? That room ended up being so bougie. That was the bougiest room we have ever stayed in. It was nice. Now I can't go below that standard. Like when you find the best of something, it's like when they let you start eating food and drinking like in the movie theater while you're watching a movie. After I had that first experience, I told Alicia, never again are we to go back to those other theaters where you don't get to eat. Because I'm just going to sit at those theaters and think about how much better I could have had it if I got to eat something while I was watching the movie. Like, what the fuck? So, yeah, she set the standard for bouginess. Um, but anyways, so like there were this is kind of random just because I just wanted to describe it. There's like 15,000 fucking people that can be hit, like that were at the show. That's what the max was 15,000. We have never been to a venue that holds that many people. That was like a first for us. Um, so cool. And Alicia was she picked the seating too. She got us under the pavilion because 4,500 people can fit under the pavilion, which is like, where the stage is. And then you have all of the people sitting in the grass up on the hill and stuff. I didn't know that that was where the original Woodstock took place. Like, or that we would even be outdoors, but I'll get to that in a minute. I didn't know that was where Woodstock was because I'd always seen these pictures, but like, it's hard. Like back in the day, I haven't even thought of Woodstock in so long, but it was hard to like see pictures because there was no internet. Um, when like until I was like a teen, there was no internet before that though. But I remember like seeing these pictures, and I'm like, why do people say that it's so big when it doesn't look like there? It's very big. Like, I couldn't tell the space size from the picture, if that makes sense. So yeah, that was cool to find that out. And I asked Alicia, so I didn't know that this was going to be outside. I thought we were going to be indoors because I've never done like outside. The last time I did an outdoor show, like I went to one was when I was in the military in my 20s, and you know, I didn't mind then. But so I'm glad that she got a pavilion seat because like it was raining at points. But before we left the house, I was like, should I bring my sweatpants? Because I get really cold indoors when I'm sitting. And I can't make myself have hot flashes as much as I try. Like, that's not fair. If they're going to come on when you don't expect it, you should also have the ability to bring one on because that would warm you up. Like, if you were freezing, I don't know. But she's like, no, you don't have to bring pants or anything. But she always does. She doesn't wear shorts inside anything like, when we go to shows. And I remember thinking, I was like, that's odd. Huh. And then we get there, and I'm like, okay, so that's why you said that I would be fine with shorts. You did not tell me that we would be outdoors. Like, and I'm not blaming her at all. I was just like, maybe next time, can you let me know these things? Because that's a huge change from where I thought we would be going. Um, Like, I brought my nausea medications because I knew I was, I just knew I might need a pill, but I didn't know I was definitely gonna need it for the outside, so, that was interesting. It was, like, 80 plus fucking degrees and sweaty, stinky people. Stinky, stinky motherfuckers, and when there was, like, the slightest breeze, you got a whiff of a fucking fart or you some, like, gross mix of all these different foods, people's body odor because, we were all so hot and sweaty and gross. And that was fucking disgusting. I hate smelling anything like that on other people. Either smell nice or just don't smell that way. I don't know. But fucking gross. So I was very proud of myself because I had my purse, I call it. It's like an over the shoulder messenger bag, a tiny one. And I brought my Island Nectar lotion, and I would several times I'd take that out and like smush it inside my nose and all around my nose so that like I would smell that instead of the fucking gross body emissions. Um and I had the nausea pill, and then I brought some marijuana. And that was another thing too. Like, you can't have marijuana, like edibles, gummy edibles outside in that kind of like heat because they are not supposed to get hot like that. So I had like what, like four of them. I just put them in my mouth. I was like, well, better not waste them. But you know what? Like, I didn't feel like any kind of a high. That's not why I was taking it. I know that shit like kept me calm because I was around so many people, like so many fucking people, and you had to keep getting up and down and up and down because people had to get by you to get to their seats, and it was a little bit annoying. But yeah, I'm glad that I brought stuff and I had my fidget spinner. So, I try to bring like those kinds of things with me just in case, and I definitely needed it. But anyways, um, I can't believe I got to see Joan Jett too. Oh, I hope I don't offend anybody when I say this. I'm not trying to be a dick. Anybody older than me, I do not mean offense when I say this. I'm just gonna fall back on the truth, which is my autistic brain thinks about things a bit differently. So, yeah, so I told Alicia, I was like, oh, I thought they were both going to sit down, Joan Jett and Alanis Morissette. I thought they were doing sit down shows because in my mind, I was like, Joan Jett is 65. 65! Like, unbelievable. And Alanis Morissette is 50. And I remember, like, years and years ago, um, Alanis Morissette had come to, like, she came to do a show that was not even an hour away from us, at the time. It was, like, many years ago, and I just remember thinking, like, because we were living paycheck to paycheck, before we started moving up in the world. And I just knew like we couldn't afford to go, and I wasn't even gonna bother. The tickets were so fucking expensive because she was playing at a casino, like in the casino. So like they were so expensive, and I was just like, I ain't even gonna bother with this because there's no way we can afford this. So I'm glad that she came to New York again. I mean, she probably comes regularly. Anyways, I'm just talking for no reason. Um, Oh, I forgot. Oh, that's right. So I really did in my mind, I thought that they would sit down and do their whole set, each of them. But no, they are the same as they were back in the day. Joan Jett still moves, pretty well. Oh, and is that rude? Oh my God, that is rude. I don't mean it like that. I thought that like, I don't have any friends that are like 50 and older. I don't know where to find information on what is it like to become older. Like, I had it in my mind that, like, maybe, like, older people had, like, couldn't move around like that or something. I'm so ignorant. I'm so sorry. So, like, when Joan Jett was up there with her fucking guitar, she was wearing all bitch has gotta be autistic. That bitch has been wearing the same thing since the '80s. Those leather, like, pants and the tank top thing. Like, wear same shit. Oh my god, I can't believe I fucking saw Joan Jett. Um, and then I at the casino when I came to several years ago, it was a sit down show. That was the way that she was doing her tour, and I got it into my head that that's how she does her tours from then on. I just thought that she sat down at all of them because, like, you can't possibly move and, your voice is gonna go at some point, but no. This bitch moves the same as she did when she was in her 20s. She sings better than she did when she was in her 20s, and, like, I am about 99% sure that she is stimming when she's on stage, because, like, I highly, highly believe that she's autistic, and when I was a kid, I used to watch her live shows on MTV, wherever I could find them, and she would do these weird things, like, with her hands, like, these weird hand movements. Um, and then she would, like, be in the zone, like, on stage, she shuts her eyes, she just, like, moves oddly, and when I was a kid, I was like, "That is so fascinating and weird. Why does she just, like, doesn't care that anybody is seeing her just do that?" And now I look at that and I'm like, "That is fucking stimming." Like, she is stimming. And Alicia's like, "Oh my god, I do that thing with my hands too." And I've always been like, "Oh, is this, like, weird or something?" And she's like, "Now I don't have to feel like it's weird." And I'm like, "Oh, that's great." But anyways, I think I'm jumping around. Um, what else? Oh, okay. So here's something I will never understand. Before Alanis Morissette even finished the last couple of songs before the encore, she wasn't even at the encore. These were the last couple of songs in the main set. People were leaving and heading to the parking lot to beat the fucking rush. Like, what? Why? Why? I don't know why you spend money to go see these people, and you're concerned about, like, let me just beat all the thousands of people. Like, I get it, but, like, I don't, not really. Like, how you're not a true fan. What are you even doing there, like, you pretender? You just fucking left before she got finished. Like, maybe, like, people aren't as obsessed as I am, but you know what? I just gotta say, I was enjoying being around people our age for once, because a lot of the shows that we go to, it's like, no offense to the younger people, but like, you just want to be around people your own age. And it was that and above. Like, because I knew, like, you got the Joan Jett crowd, you got the Alanis crowd, and then there's like there were some younger ones there, and it was so funny because I was like, "You're autistic." Just the way that they were acting, and like how somebody kept saying, "I love you, Alanis," you over and over for like 10 minutes. Like, what is that? Echolalia? I don't know. Um, but anyways, yeah. Why the fuck would you do that? I would never. Number one, that's fucking rude, whether or not she sees you do it. And number two, it's not that important. Like, I don't care. But I mean, what I'm about to say may sound like we should have done that, but no. So like when the show was finally done, there was thousands of us walking out like lemmings, and we were all packed together, and it was like I was in a war zone. Like, don't touch me, don't touch me. Like, I was thinking that in my head. People were bumping into me. It's like, this is fucking gross. Y'all smell like, and then we were getting closer to the gate where we could just leave the venue completely, and people were yelling, "Hey, hey," and they were drunk because, and I really think it was the marijuana. It was either that or I'm just more mature and I didn't even realize, or maybe a combination of both. Because if I were in my 20s, I used to do some not nice shit because I would have turned right around at those people that were yelling and been like, "Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!" Like, I was such an asshole. Um, and I told Alicia, I was like, "Aren't you glad that, like, now I'm finally at the point where, like, we can leave, like, a show or something special that we're doing, and I won't ruin it by being a dick." Like, it was not good. But, like, I was almost ready to pass out. I was wobbling. I had her hold my hand. I was like, "I'm not doing too well," because it was so fucking hot and, like, I couldn't breathe, and it was sensory nightmare to, like, the thousandth degree. It was just wretched. Um, yeah, and I really think I would have had a meltdown if I didn't have, like, some maturity or some pot or both. Um, but anyways, yeah, and she did good with the parking too. She got us some premium parking, so we got to be a whole bunch of the people that got general parking. And it wasn't that bad. It didn't take too long to get out, so but anyways, that was I'm sorry for however this sounds. maybe like all over the place, but I want to say now this memory will overshadow the other one because when this one comes up, the other one probably will too. Like, how can it not? But like, I'm just going to look at it and be like, hey, bad memory, hey. You know, like, I don't have to deal with you anymore. Oh, but I did want to say one thing. Just in case my ex family finds me, and just in case my ex mother happens to be listening right now, which I hope never, ever, ever happens, ever. But if she somehow finds out that I'm doing a podcast, I would like to say that if you're listening to this episode, ex mother, I got a few things for you. Remember that day where you decided to be a shitty mom? Oh, wait, I forgot. There were so many shitty days where you were a shitty mom. I mean, the one I was just talking about in Hawaii. Yeah, the one that has haunted me for far too long. Well, guess what? I finally have a better experience to replace that bad memory. You were supposed to be the one person I could count on, but instead, you chose to be a monumental jerk. Like that day, your actions etched a painful scar on my childhood. But scars heal, and so do memories. And thanks to my newfound corrective childhood experience, I can finally stop thinking about that awful day. Your negativity no longer holds power over me. Like, I've grown, I've moved on, I've found better and healthier ways to fill the gaps that you left. So if you're listening, just know that your shitty behavior is no longer a defining moment in my life. I have been able to replace that with something positive, something that you could not provide me. So I am for real done with your bullshit. So keep staying away. That is all I want to say. Is just like, just don't talk to me. Don't reach out. I just want you to know that, you know, you need to know this if you're listening to this episode that that day has been the worst day of my life. And that's all I'm going to say to you. So to everybody else, I'm sorry if this episode was like, sounded like mean or I don't know how I sounded. I'm very happy by what happened. And I'm very, very happy that like, I don't think, what time am I at? Oh, 20 minutes. Oh shit. I gotta end. Oh no, I gotta end this. Oh, 22. Okay. Um, yeah, that I think that's all I got. My brain has not been working well the last few weeks. My talking, oh, it's starting to go bad again. Because I'm still doing like some recording for like my course, which, you'll hear about it soon if you even care. But like all of this talking is just so difficult. And I know that I have to stop. Like I can only do about an hour of it a day before like it's my mouth starts not working properly, and I don't know why, and I don't like why does that happen? Like I know I talk a lot, but I don't talk just constantly. Well, I don't know. That's neither here nor there. Thank you for listening to this episode. If you have had like an experience like that that's just stayed burned into your brain years and years later, if there's any opportunity that you might have to like replace that with something better, I highly recommend doing it because I can't even describe properly how I feel inside my brain. Like, it's not like I was holding on to this stuff on purpose. I really wasn't. I wasn't like, I don't forgive you. Like, I wasn't holding a grudge, even though it sounds like I was. It's just something that stuck with me. There was all of these different things that happened, like the meltdown, me like having some like clarity, like that all kind of like burned the shit into my brain. And I don't know, like it was this that has I don't feel anything about that anymore. Like except what I mean, it sounds like I did, but anymore. No, I don't. Um I would say do the thing that's going to make your shitty memory like go away because it's totally worth it. And now when this shit pops up in my head, my brain's going to be happy because it's going to have a better memory. And okay, I hope this makes sense. I need to go cuz I'm not talking right. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.